Did I delete that? Oops. It's okay. Hi, welcome in. Sorry, I'm just sharing the live out with a few people. Hello. We're going to be talking about the second coming of Christ that's within each of us. I got my Yogananda book in, finally. And we're going to be reading from it. The second coming of Christ. The resurrection of Christ within you. So, let me just share this to a couple more people. There we go. Okay. Welcome in. How is everybody doing today? Okay. So, I wanted to start with chapter 14. It's called The Ascension of Man Lifting Up the Serpent in the Wilderness. I'm at work, can't talk or listen, but I can watch. Just wave hi. How funny. Thank you for your support. Okay. So, I want to just read. Oh, let me decline these. As I read, hey, Teresa, we'll, discuss, what's being said here, but this is from John 3:9-12. Nicodemus answered and said unto him, How can these things be? Jesus answered and said unto him, sorry about my pups out there. Hold on one sec. We did this last time I tried to go live. Hold on one sec. Hey! Come on, Zena. Goomba, you stay out there. Come on, Zena. Come on, Zena. Go to bed. There you go. Go get your bed. I'm sorry, guys. Give me 1 sec while these pups get situated. You better be quiet, too. I don't want to hear you. No, Zena. Go lay down. Sorry, y'all. I have 6 dogs at the moment because I rescued Zena and she had 9 puppies. Hey, Frank. Oh, thanks for the roses. I appreciate you. Okay. I think we're good. So Nicodemus answered and said unto him, How can these things be? Jesus answered and said unto him, Art thou a master of Israel, and knowest not these things? Verily, verily, I say unto thee, we speak that we do know, and testify that we have seen, and ye receive not our witness. If I told you earthly things, and ye not believe not, how shall ye believe if I tell you of heavenly things? So basically he's saying just because you are... Hi, I'm sorry. Oh my goodness, Frank. Oh, awesome. You work at a TV station? That's cool. He's saying that, you know, he's a master of the house of Israel, but he doesn't know, he only knows these physical things, not the spiritual things, the mysteries that he is trying to teach. Thank you for the heart, me. Thank you so much. Okay. And thank you for the rose, Aura. Thank you. Sorry, I missed it. Thank you for the follow, Raphael. Awesome. Okay, so Jesus, in addressing Nicodemus, observed that merely holding the ceremonial office of a master of the house of Israel did not guarantee an understanding of the mysteries of life. Often persons are accorded religious titles by virtue of intellectual knowledge of the scriptures, but a full comprehension of the esoteric depths of truth can be known only by intuitive experience. So we see this today within churchianity. you know. They teach us the literal, and these stories are supposed to be taken esoterically. I'm not saying there's not some historical truth to it, but Jesus taught in parables. This is all allegory, and it's meant to... Okay, you have the best day too, Frank. Thank you. It's meant to represent more of our walk with God, and this is my perspective, but through experiences is what I've come to know. That basically we start out in bondage, in the law of sin and death. And can I show you this live stream in my women's studies class so we can study you in your natural habitat? I don't know what that means exactly, but you can share it. You don't record me and share it, but you can share the live stream now within your women's class. Thank you for the follow. Lives to ride horses. Awesome. Okay, where was I? Oh, so we start off in Jesus even refers to the 10 Commandments. I'm not a beekeeper. One day, hopefully, that would be awesome. No, Melissa is my name and it means honeybee. But I would love to do that one day. So, I'm sorry. Where was I? Okay, so Jesus actually refers to the 10 Commandments as the law of sin and death. And so, that is basically... It's the carnal, mind. It's the law is for the lawless, basically. So it's a good stepping stone to get to where we understand that if we follow the 2 commandments that Jesus taught us, to love God with all your heart and love your neighbor as yourself, which means you have to love yourself first, then all the other commandments will follow. We don't need, to know not to murder. We will not murder because we are living out of love. Well, that's too bad because you look sweet. You're so sweet, Wyatt. Thank you. Okay. And then, so, that's how I read the scriptures. Obviously, like I said, there is some historical things, but I feel like it's kind of like when a fiction book is written about an event of history, say, this is just something everybody knows, with the Twin Towers falling. People write about a story within that story, but it's a fiction. It's not real. So this is, and it's to teach a lesson usually, and so Jesus was doing the same thing when he was speaking in parables, and the Bible is doing the same thing with the stories within it. So, let's continue. We speak that we do know is knowledgeable, deeper than the information derived through sensory-dependent intellect and reason. So, what you can, 5 senses, taste, touch, see, hear, smell. When we experience that, it's a deeper inner knowing, Since the senses are limited, so is intellectual understanding. And so that is limited to our flesh, what we can perceive through our flesh. So these senses and mind are the outer doors through which knowledge percolates into the consciousness. Human knowledge filters in through the senses and is interpreted by the mind. That's why it's important to go within and to really study the mind and how your mind is working, and what every thought that comes in. People say not to try to not think of anything, but I say meditate on each thought, and ask yourself, here's a trick. Ask yourself, I wonder what my next thought will be. And you'll find yourself not really being able to pinpoint the next, just an ongoing journey of, what will my next thought be? What will my next thought be? Thank you for the follow, Dawn. Is it happy hour yet? I don't know, I don't drink. Or not usually. On occasion. Okay. So if the senses err in perception, The conclusion drawn by the understanding of that data is also incorrect. A white gossamer cloth fluttering in the distance may look like a ghost, and a superstitious person believes that it is a ghost, but closer observation reveals the error of that conclusion. So our eyes can play tricks on us. That's why it's important to have an understanding of, let's see. The senses and understanding are easily diluted because they cannot grasp the real nature, the essential character and substance of created things. Jesus, with his intuition, had full realization of the noumena? I'm going to have to look that up. I don't like when I don't know a word. Noumena? Have y'all heard of that, Laura? Noumena. Really? Oh, my connection is bad because I'm uploading files. Okay, we'll come back to it. Supporting the work. Okay, Jesus, with his intuition, had full realization of the. I want to say it says the supporting the workings of the cosmos. So I think it's I can't pronounce it either. I think it's like the inner workings, like the source. The source, supporting the workings. Oh, thank you for the rose, Dawn. I appreciate you. Supporting the workings of the cosmos and its diversity of life. So he said authoritatively, we do know. Jesus was attuned to the grand scheme of manifestation behind all space, behind earthly vision. Yes, the source. So, to belligerent minds, he could not speak openly of his omnipresent perception. Even the truths he did tell brought crucifixion. He said to Nicodemus, if I tell you about the matters pertaining to human souls who are visibly present on earth and how they can enter into the kingdom of God, and you believe not, then how can you believe me if I tell you about happenings in the heavenly realms, which are completely hidden from the ordinary human gaze? Though Jesus regretted with accommodating patience that Nicodemus doubted the intuitional revelations of the Christ state, he went on to tell his visitor the way in which he and any other seeker of truth could experience these truths for himself. So many doubt heaven because they do not see it. Yet they do not doubt the breeze simply because it is unseen. That's something to think about. And the air we breathe, you can't see it, but it's life-giving. Without it, it could not exist. It is known by its sound and sensation on the skin and the motion in the leaves and other objects. The whole universe lives, moves, breathes because of the invisible presence of God in the heavenly forces behind matter. Hey, how are you? Her aphrodisiac, how are you? Once a man gave some olives to another who had never seen olives and said, these have a lot of oil in them. The person cut the fruit but could not see the oil until his friend showed him how to squeeze the olives in order to extract the oil from the pulp. So it is with God. Everything in the universe is saturated with his presence. The twinkling stars, the rose, the song of the bird are minds. His being permeates everything, everywhere. But one has metaphorically to squeeze God out of his material concealment. And I love that they used oil, of course. Hold on one sec. I gotta get some tea. It's been amazing. I hope your day's been amazing too. I got gifts in the mail, so it was like, oh, unexpected gifts. And I have to shout out my friend Rosie, who makes awesome serum. She's on here as Truth Sayer. If y'all are interested, all natural, like the best and most like ingredients that is allowed. And so like most of them have like at the store, they'll have like the minimum amount of, you know, all the good stuff. So, and they smell divine. Like amazing. So, my day's been excellent. Thank you for asking. But I want to say about the oil. So, the second coming of Christ, the resurrection of the Christ within you, I take this as not just Christ consciousness resurrecting it within us, but also the oil that is our sacred secretion, which happens once a month. Thank you for sharing the live. When the moon enters your sun sign, and there's an oil produced, it travels from the back of your brain down your spinal column. There's a seed that's produced in the solar plexus, and that travels down into the sacral chakra, and it lives there for 3 days and then raises again to the crown third eye chakras. Yes, the oil, awesome. I'm glad you're learning about it, because I knew about it for a while, but it wasn't until my Kundalini awakening in September that I really started focusing on this. Like right now, I'm doing my fast because on the 30th, the moon moves into Libra, and that's when I honor my sacred secretion. And so yeah, that the fact that he uses oil that one has to metaphorically squeeze God out of his material concealment. So we don't have to squeeze, but there's different things that you can do to raise that oil with breath work, with meditation and yoga. Like I said, fasting prior to the moon entering your sun sign. I found out digestion actually. I did a 4-day fast when the moon was last in Taurus. Awesome, good job. Yeah, so I'm doing a 4-day as well. Then the day before, on the 29th, I will break the fast because digestion actually helps move that energy along. So I did several trials since September. Each month I feel like I did something different. Yeah, so... But I went back to the drawing board, and luckily during that time when I had my awakening, I was interacting through Messenger with my best friend and telling her like every step of the way what I was doing. And so I have it all documented. And so that's what I had done. I had done a 5-day fast. Thank you for sharing the live again. Do you also fast on new moon, full moon days, or just when it enters your sign? Right now, just when it enters my sign. I do energy work on new moon and full moons. I do dancing and singing and chanting outside to help move energy, to harness that moon energy, and also to help release trapped souls or in the land. So it's healing the land as well as the people. So yeah. But so I went back to the drawing board. So I realized that whenever I had my Kundalini awakening, that's what I had done. I had done a 5-day fast, then I had broke the fast the day before, and then I had fasted the day of. And then I had it that same night that the moon entered Libra. So I found out it was a shamanic Kundalini awakening. I had taken some plant medicine. It was like some mushroom candies, and I was divinely guided. I mean, I usually go outside during those journeys anyways, but to go outside and take off my shoes and dance and chant and sing and kind of like my full moon rituals. Hold on one sec. Goomba, let me put you out so you don't disturb us. Come on. Go outside. You hear your brothers and sisters going, and gotta go see what's going on. These pups, I swear. Okay, sorry. So, yes, where was I? It was a shamanic healing, basically. I had an integration with the Greek goddess of Hecate during that time also. It was a whirlwind of a it was just an amazing experience. Spiritual bliss, enlightenment, like I said, integration. She's an incarnation of the Divine Mother. I started 2 days before the moon entered Taurus. I'm here to learn. Yeah, so I'm learning too, you know? Like I said, I kind of went back to the drawing board. I've been doing, like, starting on the day that it entered and, like, going through. I did it a few days before and went through. But a revelation occurred to me last month. Yes, last month. That digestion is a key component in moving that energy. And so that's what I'm doing this time. I'm going back. I'm even gonna have the same meal, I think, that I had back in September. There was a lot of things going on astrologically in September. A lot of people I have connected with since then also had experiences that month. And I feel like, again, this month is a lot going on astrologically with Pluto and the Sun entering Aquarius. So I'm going to, like I said, try to do pretty much exactly what I did back in September. And then see how it goes after that first, you know, day. I'll probably extend the fast and then just eat very light, like fruits and nuts and stuff like that. When I got hungry, I ate watermelon, and water definitely gonna, yes, that's good. Yes, definitely drink lots of water. But watermelon is excellent, excellent. And you can actually look up, I forget the websites. I think there's a couple, but there, what is it called? There's a website that talks about each sign and the foods that actually help move this energy. Like, I think mine is like cucumbers and other, like, it's fruits and vegetables, obviously. And there's actually salts that increase it too. And you can make water by, like, soaking Celtic salt, or let me see if I can find that. Oh, no, that's not it. The problem is right now I'm trying to load some documents to the server at work, and so my internet's not working. And I can't look at my phone. But I'll make a video on that, actually, or just y'all follow along and I'll post that. But yes, you can find different foods to help, and different minerals. Minerals, that's the right word. Okay. So, let's continue. Inner concentration is the way to realize the subtle, prolific heaven behind this gross universe. So, meditation. Seclusion is the price of greatness and God contact. So, obviously, like Jesus went into the wilderness to pray. Seclusion and meditation. All who are willing to snatch time from the greedy material world to devote it instead to the divine search, can learn to behold the wondrous factory of creation out of which all things are born. So that's basically what I just said about Jesus going into the wilderness, leaving the material world behind, going out into nature, getting in touch with, you know, like grounding with the earth, sun gazing and sunbathing, breath work. Get outside, get some fresh air. Breath work. Getting in natural water too. You know, not now if it's cold, but or, you know, go for it. Some people like that. I'm not one of those cold plunge girlies yet. I don't know about that. Okay. From the heavenly, casual, and astral spheres. Oh, I'm sorry. From the heavenly, causal, and astral spheres, every physically incarnate soul has descended, and every soul can reascend by retreating into the wilderness of interior silence and practicing the scientific method of lifting up the life force and consciousness from body identification to union with God. So there we go, the life force energy. That's that Kundalini energy. Coconut water, I'm going to try to Yes, coconut water is good too. I drink coconut milk, so I stay away from dairy and meat. I do eat fish on occasion. I'm trying to cut back on that, but you know, seafood is like my favorite, always has been. But listen to your body. Everybody's different. Some people require certain things in meat and stuff. So, but organic, alkaline fruits and vegetables, to me, you know, I do drink coffee, which is acidic enough, so I try to keep my diet very alkaline. This is tea, though. This is soursop tea. So, detoxifying teas and stuff are good. I use diatomaceous earth every morning in my coffee because that kills, or not kills, but it binds to parasites and heavy metals and moves them through. So it's great for detoxing. And it's a daily thing that, you know, you don't have to like fast in order to detox it and stuff like that. So, okay, so this is John 3:13 through 15. This is continuing on from the previous passage. And no man hath ascended up to heaven, but he that came down from heaven, even the Son of Man which is in heaven. And as Moses lifted up the serpent in the wilderness, even so must the Son of Man be lifted up, that whosoever believeth in him should not perish, but have eternal life. So that's also the energy ascending and descending. It's also reincarnation. It's multidimensional, but this passage is very important and little understood. Taken literally, the words lifted up the serpent are at best a classic scriptural ambiguity. Every symbol has a hidden meaning that must be rightly interpreted. Absolutely. The word serpent here refers metaphorically to man's consciousness, the Christ consciousness within, and life force, the kundalini, in the subtle coiled passageway at the base of the spine, the matterward flow of which is to be reversed for man to ascend from body attachment to superconsciousness freedom. So enlightenment, the path to ascension or the path to enlightenment, is the spinal column. The serpent on the pole is that energy moving up your spine. Okay. As souls, we are all originally in God's bosom. Spirit projects the desire to create an individualized expression of itself. The soul becomes manifest and projects the idea of the body in causal form. The idea becomes energy, or the life-tronic astral body. The astral body becomes condensed into the physical body. Through the integrated spinal passageway of these three instrumental media, the soul descends into identification with material body and gross matter. So it says over here in the sign, man's supernal nature as an angelic being garbed in thought and light. So basically we have a light body within us that's our spirit. And that's a fractal of God. Ye are gods. And Jesus told us that. And then we have our flesh suit, you know. So when we come to this realm, we have an angelic and a higher self. And I feel like we have a higher self in each dimension all the way back to source. But in this realm, it's more dense. It's a shadow of our heavenly kingdom. It's a earthly mother's kingdom, in my opinion. And so, yes, we identify with the body, our ego. He that came down from heaven means the physical body. Jesus refers to the human body as man. Throughout the Gospels, he spoke of his own physical body as the Son of Man. Hey, Muffins, how are you? I'm glad you're here. As distinguished from his Christ consciousness, the Son of God. So each of us in my opinion, are sons and daughters of God. We all have that Christ within if we are willing to tap into that energy, that consciousness, and bring that forth. Okay, so man descends from the heavenly planes of God's creation when his soul, garbed in its causal body of God-congealed ideas and its astral body of light, takes on an outer covering of material tissue. So not only Jesus, but all of God's children have come down from heaven. And we're seated in heavenly places. So this is just, us experiencing this realm. And we are, I don't want to say trapped, but in a way, our flesh is kind of, hindering us here. But it's also a tool that we use to ascend, because without our body and the process going on within and, raising that oil and becoming enlightened, then we wouldn't be able to ascend back into heaven. So just as the little threads of flame percolating through the holes of a gas burner are part of the one flame under the burner plate, so also the one flame of spirit underlying all creation appears as a separate soul flame in every individual being. When the burner is turned off, the many individual jets retire into the one central flame. The separate threads of fire had first to come out of the primary flame before they could go back into it. This illustrates what Jesus said about souls ascending to heaven, having descended from heaven. That was like a visual description there, if y'all got that. No human body has ascended into heaven, the etheric essence of which does not accommodate corporeal forms. But all souls can and will enter the supernal realms when, through death or through spiritual transcendence. And that's when you don't taste death. That's like what Yogananda actually did. He just decided to leave his body and ascend into heaven. And his body has not decayed. If y'all know the story, it's fascinating. And other masters have done this as well. So they cast off physical consciousness and know themselves as angelic beings garbed in thought and light. So when you reach that enlightenment, and you can ascend into heaven either by death of the physical or leaving, which is through spiritual transcendence. And who was it? Elijah was taken up in a whirlwind? I believe Elijah, yes. Hey Joe, how are you? And then, like Enoch didn't taste death. So there's been several people to do this. Transcendence. We are all made in the image of God. Beings of immortal consciousness cloaked in diaphanous heavenly light. Diaphanous? I'm not sure what that means either. A heritage buried beneath the cloddish flesh. That heritage we can only acknowledge by meditation. There is no other way. Not by reading books, not by philosophical study, but by devotion and continuous prayer and scientific meditation that uplifts the consciousness to God. So you can't, doing good, just got off work. I'm good. What's stopping someone from being realized in your opinion? Not going within. Not knowing their true divinity, not reading the scriptures literally and not diving deeper into the hidden mysteries and the esoteric meaning. I mean, there's so much. I mean, when you're indoctrinated by the church, and you don't look elsewhere, you're told not to look elsewhere, and so you just follow along. It's hard to escape that, But when you study outside of churchianity, and you see that there's connections in all the different religions. I have a book here. Maybe we'll do this book one day. Oops. I have several. I just knocked one down. World Scripture. a comparative anthology of sacred texts. So basically, any subject in here, which there's tons of different subjects, they take several different verses. So, the truth in many paths. This is just one topic, right? And then within that, they have verses from all these different religions. So, they have one from Hinduism, Jainism, or Jainism. I'm not sure how you say that. Sikhism, Buddhism, Islam, Shinto, Confucianism, not sure if I'm pronouncing these right or not, Unification Church, Judaism, Christianity. You know, I could go on, but you get the idea. So, yeah, Jainism. How do you say it? Jainism? So, it's very interesting how they're all saying the same thing. If you read it esoterically. Jainism. Okay. So I was right the first time. Cool. So, where was I? Got my bookmark. This bookmark was in here. I just got this. I bought it used on eBay. And it had this in it. And I was like, oh yeah, I have that book. Have y'all ever seen The Holy Science? We'll have to go through that one too. This Sri Yukteswar. That was Yogananda's master. So, very interesting. And I actually had to pull it out just to go through a little bit of it. I have it somewhere. God, I have books everywhere. Okay. Where was it? Okay. Jesus spoke of an extraordinary truth when he mentioned the Son of Man, which is in heaven. Ordinary souls behold their bodies roaming only on the earth, but free souls such as Jesus dwell simultaneously in the physical and in the astral as causal heavenly kingdoms. Okay, no problem. Okay. Oh yeah, absolutely. They're all linked, but people get distracted by the details, right? Exactly. If you really look at them, though, they all hold a piece to the puzzle. I find truth in every religion and tradition. I have that book right there. Love it. Oh, awesome. Awesome. Where is that in the book? In this one? This is chapter 4. Okay. I keep getting requests. Okay. Sorry. This is chapter 14 in the volume 1. So, it's the ascension of man lifting up the serpent in the wilderness. Or I guess they're called Discourse 14. Okay. So where was I? Off to the side here, it says highest ecstasy, being united with God while simultaneously active in the world. I can attest to that. A motion picture can portray human beings, animals, trees, mountains, oceans on the screen, all of which have descended from the projection booth, projected through a beam of light. Similarly, every figure in this world has emerged from the booth of eternity. The physical body, or Son of Man, is a projection of the cosmic beam of God's light. So Jesus' words are very simple and yet very wonderful. Even while dwelling in a body in the physical world, he was beholding himself as a ray of God descending from heaven. So he knew that he was not only the Son of Man in the flesh, but the Son of God, a ray of light, a beacon of light from heaven. He demonstrated this conclusively after his death, recreating his physical body from rays of cosmic creative light and later dematerializing it in the presence of his disciples when he ascended back to heaven. So he mastered the transcendence, the spiritual transcendence by resurrecting and then leaving again, ascending back into heaven. Okay. Some masters, in their oneness with God, may preserve the projection of their bodily form indefinitely, Other masters in their God union dissolve the bodily image and spirit when they depart from the earth, but they can reappear at will in response to the earnest soul entreaty of a yearning devotee, either in vision or actually rematerializing their physical form as Jesus did for St. Francis and as my own master after his passing did for me. Interesting. Or, at the behest of the Divine Father, they may voluntarily return to earth in a new incarnation to usher souls from the realm of delusion into the kingdom of heaven. Into the kingdom of God. So, I believe Jesus reincarnated several times, and I also got another book on reincarnation from a friend of mine, and like he was Adam, obviously, that's in the Bible. He was the second Adam. There's many references to that. He was Enoch. He was Melchizedek. He was Jacob. Yes. So many times. So, and Elisha. And John the Baptist was Elijah. So I believe, he was coming to give this message, to enlighten in chapter 14, volume 1. Yes. To bring truth. Obviously, these people in the Old Testament were worshiping a lesser God, in my opinion. Our source, our supreme God, is not a God of wrath and judgment, and would never require sacrifice. So they wanted a physical ruler that they could see, and they could, Jesus said that no one has ever seen the Father, and that he dwells in unapproachable light. And so the God of the Old Testament was seen, and he dwelled in darkness and in light, and, just many things contradict there. Let's see. So yes, anyways, that's what I believe he was coming in the incarnation of Jesus, was to show us the truth about that. And other things that we had gotten so far off, though, I believe, from what we were supposed to be doing. And I say we because I believe that we've been incarnating since then. So we were alive then, too. While Jesus, in his God-ordained incarnation, was effectually engaged in his heavenly Father's work in the world, he could, in truth, proclaim, "I am in heaven." This is the highest ecstasy of God consciousness, defined by yogis as, I'm going to butcher this, nirvikalpa samadhi, an ecstatic state, without difference, between external consciousness and interior God union. In Sattvakalpa Samadhi, with difference, a less exalted state, one is not conscious of the other world. The body enters an inert trance, while the awareness is immersed in interior conscious oneness with God. So basically like a spiritual bliss, like you just feel like one with Source. You are tapped into that Christ consciousness energy, and you do not even know of your worldly self. The most advanced masters can be fully conscious of God and not show any signs of the body being transfixed. The devotee drinks God and simultaneously is conscious and fully active in his external environment, if he so chooses. Okay, so this is saying that you can do either. You can be fully active while in this state. Which I kind of can attest to, not this level, but being like on cloud 9 is what I called it after my Kundalini awakening. And actually it's happened to me twice. Okay, so, or actually about 3 times so far. I've had awakenings where like for weeks I'll be on cloud 9 is what I call it. And it's just like, I feel like I've been touched by God himself. Like, once was when I saw the Holy Spirit in my heart as a beacon of light, just shooting from my chest in all different directions and just beautiful colors of rainbow light. And then the second was when I saw through a wall. And I think that was kind of like a preview of maybe one of my gifts, remote viewing or something. Maybe I'll tap into later. And then again with my Kundalini awakening. And it left like, you know, a prolonged state of just, I don't know. I can't even explain it. Like I said, it's pure spiritual bliss. It's just like an amazing high. Just high on God. Awesome. You experienced it last year in July. Awesome. Yay. I'm so happy for you. It's amazing. It really is. It truly is life altering. We just have, let me see. I have to get back to work. Actually, we're going to have to finish this up another day. But I'm going to continue to go live every day and read from this. Let me finish up this one section here. Let me see. Actually, that's a good place to stop. The Declaration of Jesus offers an engagement. Let me see. Yeah, we'll go ahead and stop there. Let me make a little mark in here. Okay, because I just had a lunch break and that's all I can do for today. But we will start back up tomorrow around the same time, maybe a little earlier. I took a late lunch today, but I go in later on Thursdays. But thank you. I appreciate y'all being here. And I look forward to learning and growing with you all. Oh, thank you. Me too. What was I reading from? This is The Second Coming of Christ, The Resurrection of the Christ Within You by Yogananda. So, yeah. I'm excited. I had like 3 of his other books, but this one is so cool because it ties the 4 Gospels into his teachings. And like for Christians, this is, you know, I feel like this can better relate. Like I've been tying in scriptures, but I've been tying in more of like the lost books of the Bible. Like we did Gnostic scriptures. We did the Gospel of Peace and the Gospel of Truth. And we tied those into the Christ oil and stuff like that. But this is actually going into the Gospels. So I feel like that'll help a lot of people make the connection there. And then if y'all aren't aware, on Sundays I do a live energy healing. So we will go through each chakra with tuning forks and crystals and do all that good stuff, affirmations. And yeah, so I look forward to seeing y'all soon. We'll continue this book tomorrow. So be blessed, guys. And blessed be.